Kenya is well known for a variety of reasons. It is widely regarded as one of the most beautiful places on the planet, thanks to its breathtaking landscapes and vibrant wildlife. It is also one of the most ethnically diverse countries in East Africa, with interesting traditions and historical practices. So whether you are planning to visit Kenya for a wildlife safari or hoping to expand your business in this country, it's important to know what to expect in terms of culture and its people. With that being said, here are 6 interesting facts about Kenyan culture that might serve as a good introduction to you. Number 6. Mobile banking is the way of life in Kenya. In Kenya, the use of mobile banking is actually the norm. The majority of Kenyans use their mobile phones to send money to one another, pay bills such as rent, water, and electricity, as well as borrow money from banks. As a guest visiting Kenya, you simply need a SIM card, register with your preferred telecommunications company, and you're done. It is for this reason that most Kenyans do not walk around with cash. Of course, security is another reason, but mobile money has made life so easy for many Kenyans that they do not really need to carry hard cash around. So if you are visiting Kenya for a longer period, make an effort to register for mobile money and save some of your money on your phone device to stay safe. You can always withdraw whatever is left when you are leaving and take it with you. Number 5. Dining in Kenya is usually seen as a formal affair. This is one of those unspoken rules in many Kenyan homes. Food in Kenya, as with many other parts of the world, is meant to bring people together. Anytime one has guests coming over or even a friend dropping by, they will almost always make an effort to get you something to eat. Even in the villages, whether you have planned to visit someone or are just passing through, you will most likely be greeted with food. As a result, refusing whatever is offered can be deemed as being extremely impolite. You'd rather request a very small portion than refuse entirely. Also, remember that a huge population of Kenyans are not rich, so they are offering to share the little they have with you because you are their guest. Number 4. Kenyans prefer to communicate indirectly and respectfully. Unlike in the West, where most people communicate directly and openly, the majority of Kenyans prefer to use metaphors, analogies, and stories to either make a point or criticize someone. This form of communication can sometimes be a turnoff for some travelers, as you might be required to read between the lines in order to figure out what is being said. And oftentimes, you'll notice that some Kenyans may offer what they believe is the expected response rather than say something that may embarrass the other person. They prefer this way to avoid bringing shame to the other person. Additionally, most Kenyans use gestures when emphasizing something. Speaking loudly is generally experienced during business disagreements or within rural areas where most people speak with loud tones. They also try to avoid expressing their anger in public, as this can be seen as a sign of mental instability. Number 3. Kenyans value and respect their ancestors. Kenyans, like most Africans, place a high value on respecting and honoring their ancestors. However, this is not seen as the worship of ancestors, but rather a belief that when someone dies, their spirit lives on and must be recognized. Kenyans also hold the belief that ancestors are closer to God and they hold power that can affect our current events. Therefore, it is very common for most families to honor their ancestors by making offerings to them or naming their children after them. The act of showing respect for ancestors helps to maintain harmonious relationships within the family, extended family, clans, as well as tribes. Number 2, Kenyans do not keep time. As unbelievable as this sounds, the majority of Kenyans do not keep time when it comes to casual meetings. If you plan and agree to meet your local friend in town, for example, do not be surprised if they are late and ready with an excuse or none at all. They will just show up and expect you to proceed with whatever plans you had. In fact, most Kenyans exist in time rather than for time. Their lives aren't measured in seconds, minutes, or hours, and time isn't money. They see time as a contextual and flexible variable that individuals have the freedom to manage however they see fit. What matters is the significance of your presence and participation, not the time you arrive. But make no generalizations. Professional businesses do keep time, including your tour guide or safari driver, so do not be alarmed. Number 1, Kenyans thrive in community cooperation. Kenyans are more group-oriented than individualistic. In fact, this long-standing tradition is commonly referred to as Harambee in Swahili, which literally means pulling together. It is an allusion to teamwork and valuing the community before the individual. This principle has historically been practiced by every ethnic group with its roots in cooperative farming, as well as in the formation of political parties. Therefore, as you visit Kenya and immerse yourself in the local communities, you will definitely feel the spirit of group cooperation and mutual responsibility. You will even be offered assistance as a tourist. Now that you know the do's and don'ts of Kenyan culture, what next? As the saying goes, every new experience brings its own maturity and a greater clarity of vision. And perhaps you're at the point where you want to visit Kenya. At Kenya Wild Parks, we can certainly get you started on a journey you will never forget. It's one thing to read or watch videos about Kenya, but having an up-close experience in this country is another thing. So why not click the link in our description below to start planning your trip to Kenya?